Hello and welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're diving into Hersheypark's Dark Night 2025 for a fun look at the haunted houses and scare zones. From radioactive wastelands to twisted carnivals, this event keeps stepping up the scares every year. And actually, this is the first time that I've ever gone to it, and I was blown away by the event. So let's start with the scare zones. First up is Midway of Misery. It is pure chaos with fire, fog, stunts from the Decayed Brigade. This zone delivers high-intensity scares with non-stop action. It's loud, it's in your face, and the visuals are dramatic. If you're looking for the most adrenaline-fueled scare zone at Dark Night, this is it. And to note, it is pretty loud back there, and it is a pretty big scare zone. It's basically the back half of the park from right before Wildcat's Revenge and through Lightning Racers. It is a little bit pared back. There's not a lot of sets and things in this scare zone, but that's because the Decayed Brigade are sliders. So there are going to be scare actors that can slide on their knees and get up real close to you. So they need the space to work. They are awesome. It's really cool. I've never seen a park have this many sliders in a zone together, and it makes it really awesome. The next scare zone is going to be Fallout Zone. This is one of the most atmospheric areas of Dark Night. During the day, the green mist and apocalyptic theming are already unsettling, but at night, it truly comes to life. That's when the fire effect kicks in, and it becomes one of the most visually striking scare zones. The actors sell the radioactive survivor vibe, and the overall energy feels intense and immersive. Yeah, this is really cool. The park has two locations that they have fire in. They have fire in Midway of Misery, and they have fire in the Fallout Zone. The Fallout Zone fire is way cooler. It's really awesome. You can literally feel the flames, and they're not even that close to you. They're in the area where Tidal Zone is normally at, their water ride, and you can see it from throughout the park. It's really cool. You get really cool views of it when you're on Fahrenheit or any of the roller coasters over by it. And then Midway of Misery also has the fire. It's in an arch over your head, but it's not as cool as the Fallout zones. The next scare zone is the Path of Shadows, Coven's Curse. Now this is the new one for 2025, and it is a little bit hard to find. It's going to be located behind their theater. I believe it's Cadillac Theater. It is a small scare zone, but it is one of their most themed scare zones. So it leans into witchcraft and dark rituals. The theming is creepy and atmospheric. Witches lurking in the shadows, eerie light that makes the path feel alive. It's not chaotic as some of the other scare zones, but it stands out for its mood and immersive detail. It's a great addition that adds variety to the event, and it is one of my favorite scare zones. I love witches, and I love that aesthetic, so of course it already has a win in my book for that. And it also has some of the coolest set pieces. And they really do use the fog in that scare zone a lot. It's really cool. They have a bubbling cauldron with fog, and there's lots of fog and eerie lighting and stuff. And it's really awesome. I really like this scare zone. And then the last scare zone, which is my favorite scare zone, is Darkstone Hollow. It's one of the most atmospheric zones in the park, thanks to the thick fog and theatrical monster designs. The mythical creatures here look fantastic, and the environment feels immersive and cinematic. It's less about sudden scares and more about creating an eerie, otherworldly vibe that sticks with you. Yeah, the scare zone's not really in your face, like people jumping out and scaring you. It has a really cool set design and has a lot of really immersive details that I wish that they could carry through all their scare zones. This one definitely has the most detail and has the most set pieces and feels the most together and immersive storytelling of their scare zones. And it also has a really cool tunnel that you can go through and walk through, and it's just really awesome. I really loved it. I went through it multiple times while we were there, and I fell in love with it when I first went through it, and I still was in love with it by like the 10th time that I walked through the area. So next up are going to be the houses. So you have the new Kill and Fill Garage house. This is brand new for 2025, and it takes the everyday setting of a repair shop and turns it into something truly sinister. The mix of greased, rust, and car wash elements makes this house feel dirty, claustrophobic, and unpredictable. There are some clever scares with car parts and machineries, and the pace keeps you on edge from the start to the finish. For a first-year house, it's a strong addition to Dark Nights and instantly feels like one of the highlights of the lineup. And this house has one of my favorite scares of the whole event. I won't spoil it for you, but it does have my favorite scare. The next one is going to be Auntie Mortem's. Now this one remains one of the most gruesome houses at Dark Night. They say this house is their most gruesome. That's their pitch to you when you go up and you get into the queue. It's the most graphic, the most violent. It gives vibes of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and that type of vibe. It's very grotesque and gruesome. The slaughterhouse theme is disturbing, with sets that feel gritty and raw, especially the packing room, which was added for 2025. The performers inside lean into the grotesque energy, and the sound design really sells the idea that you stepped into a family business gone horribly wrong. If you like gore and atmosphere, this house is one of the most effective of the event. Next is Twisted Carnevil. This is a classic creepy clown haunt that goes beyond just jump scares. The big top setting, twisted sideshow acts, yet colorful and disturbing visuals makes this house disorienting in the best of ways. The clowns are aggressive and playful at the same time, which keeps you on edge, and the theming is loud, chaotic, and unnerving. And it is a crowd pleaser and a must for anyone who loves carnival-style horror. Next is the Haunted Coal Mine. This is one of the most immersive houses at Dark Night and has a new room added for 2025, which adds more depth to the story. The sets feel claustrophobic with tunnels and shafts that make you feel like you're trapped underground. The scares come from all angles, and the sound of dripping water, crumbling rocks really sells the illusion. It's dark, tense, and one of the best houses for the atmosphere. Also, there's a cool elevator sequence in this house, which is really fun. And rounding it out, last up is A State of Evil. It feels like walking through a haunted mansion straight out of a gothic horror film, with 13 rooms, which each offers something different, from elegant halls to creepy chambers, even a sauna, which adds to the surprising twist. The details in the sets are outstanding, and the scares are well timed, using both actors and atmosphere. It is slower paced than some of the other houses, but the immersion and elegance makes it unforgettable. So, just a little bit about their houses. I was really honestly floored. My jaw was on the ground at the level of theming, immersiveness that they used. This is one of the best haunts in the Northeast at a major theme park. They use sound, they use fog, they use scent. They really do bring the intensity and bring the scares. This is something very close to, if not at the same level as HHN or Halloween Horror Nights. They think about everything, especially State of Evil, which is really awesome. They have some really tiny details that someone wouldn't necessarily think of, like, for example, the wiring of an old house. There are, different types of wiring, and when it's set, they actually use that type of wiring that's famous in old houses. So there's just small things like that that someone may not even think of. They did think of it. So now I've been through all the houses. Let's finally rank them from best to least favorite. And number 1 goes to Kill and Fill. As a brand new house, it's really impressed me with its creative theme, strong scares, and unique setting, and an abandoned auto shop and car wash. For a first-year house, it delivered the atmosphere and intensity that made it feel like a standout right away. And that is totally true. When I first went through Kill and Fill, I fell in love. It has great scares. It was and still is one of the scariest houses in the park. I especially love the first outdoor scene where you're going through like the junkyard of auto shop. That scare actor always scared me every single time. It was great. And it also has one of my favorite scares in the park. Now, spoilers, if you all don't want to know the scare or don't want to have like inside tips or whatever, you can just jump ahead or whatever you'd like to do. But in the car wash scene, there is a scare actor who is dressed up as one of those brushes that your car goes through, and I literally almost died when I first went through. I did not notice them, did not see them, and it really caught me off guard. And some of my favorite costumes at haunts are ones where they camouflage in with the environment. For example, there's one at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg where they hide among these voodoo dolls and they're dressed up as one. Another great one of those scares where you don't expect it. You know, you're expecting someone to come out of a boo hole or out of the wall or etc. But when they camouflage in with the environment and scare you, that is honestly my favorite. So that's kind of why this one goes to number 1. It has some really great scares. It has some funny elements too to it. It also has some like interesting floor stuff, and they really throw kind of all kinds of different ways that you can put a haunt together into this. You know, Hershey, I love you, and you got something amazing going on. And I hope that you bring this every year for however long, because I will definitely come. And it is just such an amazing find. Second place will be State of Evil. Now, this is a 13-room mansion that's elegant but terrifying, with amazing detail in each room. And one of the creepiest scenes of the whole houses, of all of them, is the sauna scene. It's immersive and theatrical and one of the most complete haunted house experiences in the park. I really love how this one has the different rooms with these themes in each room. They're kind of, some of them are loosely based on the 7 Deadly Sins, and each room has like a scare actor in the room that has a little script that they like talk and they act out their character scene. And it isn't about like jump scares in this house, but it is about the script and the theatrics of the scare actor in the room. And I really love that. You don't tend to see stuff like that as much outside of HHN, where HHN, a lot of their houses are like that. Their scripts and they're acting a scene out. Refreshing to see a scene like that, scenes like that in a haunt outside of HHN. And this house, along with the others, does use scent. That is something that not a lot of haunts also use to their advantage, and I would like to see more haunts do that. For example, in the sauna scene, it smells like burning flesh. It is gross. In the Kill and Fill, it has a very specific scent in the garage. Also, like the car wash scene smells like a car wash. Like, they use scent in these haunts, and that's kind of awesome. And it does help push the scare farther in. If you smell the thing, it makes it even more unnerving, on top of just seeing something happening. The third place goes to Haunted Coal Mine. This has always been a fan favorite throughout the years they've had their Dark Nights, but it added a new room, which added depth to the storyline. It still holds strong, and it was still one of my favorite. Like, my top 3 in this are gonna be, neck and neck. They're really all kind of number one in some ways, but this one is claustrophobic and immersive, and it has so much fog and so much details within the house that just make it feel very atmospheric. It is very much accurate. You really do feel like you're underground, and scent, again, like I've said, scent helps that. And it does smell like you're in a cave, and sound design as well. You can hear dripping, and it all really lends to the storyline of you being trapped in this haunted coal mine. And it has this really cool elevator sequence, which is awesome. And there's a lot of details too, like there are dead canaries, which, if you don't know, miners used to bring canaries down, and as long as they were singing, you were safe to do your work. And then all the canaries are dead in this one, so there's toxic gas. Fourth place goes to Auntie Mortem's. This slaughterhouse is gruesome, raw, disturbing. It has some really strong sets. It's definitely effective if you like gore, though it feels a little bit more straightforward compared to the top 3. Yeah, this haunt was great. I love gore, and I love horror movies, and I love gory houses, but it is very much kind of just a normal kind of slaughterhouse haunt. It does have great theming, it does have great smells, it does have great use of sets. The actors are great as well. This one does also use a little bit more storyline heavy stuff where people talk and have scripts and things, not just like jumping out and saying boo. But it just overall to the other 3, which have kind of somewhat unique storylines. I mean, Haunted Mansion also has been done, but just the way that A State of Evil is done, it doesn't feel like it's tired. Slaughterhouse kind of gone wrong, or Texas Chainsaw-y vibey thing has been done a lot at a lot of haunts, and it's a standard to a lot of them. The next one in 5th place, finally, is Twisted Carnevil. While it has fun theming, it's loud, it's chaotic, it has creepy clowns. It doesn't quite hit the same level as the others. It's still enjoyable, but for me it lands in the bottom. I also am not afraid of clowns. Clowns do not scare me, so the inherent fear that people get from clowns does not come to me. I don't love creepy sideshow haunts in general. They're normally not top in my ranking anyways. I find the theme overdone and tired, but this does not say that because it's last, it's awful. They're all amazing, and they're all done at such an amazing level that really, even though it's 5, it's not awful. I would not skip any of them. I would do all of them. There are no skips. There's nothing like that. There are no fillers. They all have different elements and different storylines, things like that, that bring different elements to the playing field. So even with this one being last, it does have one of my favorite scares in the park. There is a daredevil scare where the person is on a harness, and then they fly through the doors of the thing, and it is just really awesome. It really startled me. But overall, Hershey's Dark Nights had a very strong lineup this year, and it was my first year, and I definitely will be coming back. Each house has its own personality, its own style, which makes the event worth visiting multiple times. You also, because they have like a daytime event as well, which is really great. It's their like trick or treat event, and that is like for kids and ages like 12 and under, and you can see people in their costumes and stuff like that, and you get to see the characters dressed up. They have, they're owned by Hershey, so they have their Hershey mascot characters, and they have little Halloween costumes. So during the day, you can have fun doing that type of stuff and doing the rides or whatever you want to do. And then when it gets, dark and spooky, that's when Dark Nights come out. Also, just a little bit of a tip, the last hour of the operating rides is dark when I went. So they turn off the lights on certain rides, and you can ride them in complete darkness. It's like Candemonium, I believe Wildcat, and a few others. So they have two kind of operating times as of right now. So the park closes, like attractions wise, closes an hour before the haunt. So if Dark Nights is open till 11, the attractions will close at 10. And the last hour, so from 9 till 10 of that, is when they do their dark night type like riding, where they turn off all the lights. Also a overlay, I believe, for the Halloween season, I don't know if it's permanent or not, is Shaq's. They overlaid Laugh Track with Shaq's gummies type thing. And when I went, it was complete darkness for the opening night of the event, which was really cool. Overall, Hersheypark's Dark Nights 2025 delivered a big mix of atmosphere, scares, and overall theming. The fog in the hollow is really creepy and awesome looking, by the way. All the coasters and everything with the fog, it's beautiful. The fire effect in the Fallout Zone and the attention to detail in the houses really stood out this year. Whether you're a horror fan or just here for the atmosphere, Dark Nights is worth the visit. Totally. I will give this event a 5 out of 5. It was honestly amazing, and I'm still blown away by it. So keep up the good work, Hershey. Thank you. And stick around for more content. I'm going to have more POVs of the houses, of the scare zones, etc. All of that coming out over the next few weeks. If you want to see the houses in their entirety and all of those, they're going to be in the vlogs that I put out, the Hersheypark vlogs. You can see those. If you want to just look at the specific houses, they'll come out over the next few weeks. And thank you, and stay spooky.